where are you at the buying process? You're ready to buy? Are you actually working with the excellent agent? Yeah. Oh, you're pre-qualified already. Okay, so you're for the agent yourself. For now, okay. Okay, well, if anything happen in the future, you want me to help, you give it a chance to help me, will you call me? Yeah, all right, thank you for calling me back, okay, you have a wonderful day.
Sorry, no, not today. We got someone in a minute. Okay, that's great. Good to get the instructions. Hello. That's. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah. Thank you both. Appreciate it. Yeah. Working on. But in terms of time frame. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that good and it's just really kind of get the patients. How that works. A lot of people
No sé.
Sí, ¿cómo están? Qué bueno.
Entre mi trabajo y esto, estoy agotada.
Como muchas, mucho sacrificio.
Sí, pero vamos a ver.
Sí, sí.
Casi.
Primero Dios, sí.
Sí, pero Dios. Ayer hice un open house. No, no mucha gente fue en Mother's Day. Ah, ayer.
Es una open house ayer.
No mucha actividad porque imagino por Mother's Day, ¿verdad?
Cierto. Cierto.
So,
¿Cuánto? Bueno.
like 4 families. Yeah, but some of them give me a wrong, I mean, fake phone number. Some of them call me back and for which she already has an age. Working with her, she's a grade 45, okay, that's right. But it was a good. Muy bien.
How did you get open?
Bueno, ella.
Yeah.
Escuchó que estaba hablando a Isis aquí de Lunes. Y me ofreció a una oportunidad de hacer en Montreal, sí, es nice. No es fácil encontrar un agent que te den las cosas. Pero llamando y ella ha hecho open house. ¿Sabes? ¿Qué ha hecho open house? Sí, ella. Y siempre está llamando y encuentra, ¿verdad? Puede encontrar open house. Hay semanas que con fácil lo encuentran uno puede llamar. Porque ella está allá, yo más. You have to send more school. 2 weeks or 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe today. One, no, pero. A seguir llamando y llamando. Sí, y si sale.
No te llamo, pero vuelve a no te llamo ahora. Con el mismo sí.
No, no, esa gente no contesta. Ellos no te van a contestar la llamada. En un año haciendo solo me han contestado como 3 veces, imagínate, en un año. Y el texto igual no se lo contesta. Hay gente que jamás se van a mandar el texto de nuevo. O sea, ellos no les interesado. Es más, me he dado cuenta que a gente le he mandado un texto en enero y luego de repente les mando un texto como en marzo, por otro lista que tenga, y veo que es el mismo gente, y digo, oh, porque esa gente no. O sea, no te van a llamar, no te van a dar la llamada, o no te van a dar el texto. Si de 10 tal vez uno lo haga, está muy bien. Va a ser amable, te decir sí o no. Pero es uno quien después de tener que volver a mandar otro texto, preguntándome si no te contestó, pues, tal vez para otro mes, pero igual no te van, ellos no me interesa, más se les pregunta para otro mes. Y yo en mi experiencia, por ejemplo, los más, ellos solo con su mismo broker. También los que van, yes. Ellos también pero nosotros incluso siempre igual ellos sí, muy bien, son muy primaria de iglesia. A veces ni me fijo en el nombre de la gente, solo los mando. Y es más seguro que te den un open house los que no son muy conocidas. No son muy conocidas y si tienes suerte hay gente que están lejos de la ciudad a donde tienen el open house. Yo lo descubrí por así, o sea, no yo no lo busqué, pero lo descubrí cuando llamaba y me salía el número que a veces estaba en la gente bien lejos. O me decía, sí, hacerlo, o sea, ¿cuántas veces quieres hacerlo? La veces que quieras. O sea, no, pero dice 4 días, 2 fines de semana, él estaba bien lejos y no estaba interesado en hacerlo. Así es. O sea, lo que otros agentes con mucha experiencia y no quieren hacer,
pues es bien para nosotros. Que buscamos, así que si una semana me encuentran, la otra semana vamos a encontrar. Pero no esperemos que nos llame.
Gracias.
Don't worry about it. I wasn't nobles, I was gonna change it up something. Sorry. Sorry, sir. Maybe they're trying to see you, I don't know. Maybe you're trying to see you, but maybe. Maybe they should do an invoice in there.
No.
Oh, goodness.
Y los traigo y me va a hacer la información que están en la lista. Todos, how many days you're gonna ask for fees, yes, ya digo. Y los signing sheets, pues, a la antigüita es importante, hay unas personas que lo hacen en su iPad. Y los business squares. ¿Qué más? Sí, pues como esa canción tenía muy parecido.
Oh, really? Yeah, actually, not really. Yeah, I know, I think they like, I don't know, post.
Es lo mismo que pensábamos.
Yeah, the chill. Oh, my goodness. You could have they have the first one. Yes, sir. I'm honored.
Closer now.
You may sound old, like a professor. Hello, sir. What's up? What's up, Carlos? Better. How are you guys? Good. Good.
You know, I don't
Someone
know.
knew it here.
Did everybody sign in? Oh, not you.
The first day that I came into the classes, I didn't find it, so I'm like, I did not know it was.
What's up, guys? How's everything going? How's life? How are things? What's new? What's cracking? Life's going. Good. Day by day. Day by day. Hour by hour. That's it. What else? How are you guys liking the night so far?
Good, good.
Yeah. I wasn't too convinced. Hello, how are you doing? Great. Good, good. Yeah, you can head tomorrow. You're welcome. All right, I think I've decided that being over here is a better speech. I can see all of you guys. I am going to sit in the center in you. All right, that's cool. You guys can see the screen, you guys can see me. This works out great. All right, we're gonna be interactive today. It's gonna be a quiet class. You guys know how to do a quiet class.
I love it.
Huh?
So you love it. It's just-
Quiet class. So honestly, I mean, like, don't you do that, like, know me a little bit? I don't think it'd be fun and like exciting. I don't like boring stuff. And when it's quiet, it's sort of boring. And I don't want to bore you guys. That's what it should be. Or it's a waste of time. Find my, like, whack. I don't want to be whack. At least not my class. Everybody else's class is whack. It's not my class. All right, cool. So capturing leads with social media. Today we are covering how to capture leads using social media. We'll review the tip 5-1 engagement plan, go over the 80-20 principle, and look at some strategies to employ on social media. Before we begin, let's hear about the daily success system. So let's talk about this. Who has been doing it? The success system. So the lead generation with the 10 likes, the 5 comments, and 1 post or share.
Except for the post or.
So, what's our thoughts, Ryan? Let's have an open discussion about social media and. Cool. What are y'all's thoughts around it? What are your hold up, your hang ups? What's preventing you from doing that? And anybody?
Personally, for me, I had to make a new social media account, so I'm basically, following people and trying to get some followers,
Gotcha.
so I can work on that and have 5.
Gotcha. Okay. Got it. So you have a new account now created?
Yeah.
You have a business account?
No, so,
So did you create
What is-
a new page?
well, I had no social media at all, so I just made a completely new.
Gotcha. What about Facebook?
Facebook, I had to make a completely new account.
So on your Facebook page, make sure you create a business account, a business profile, and it'll be attached to your actual account. But you have to make a business profile, that way you can post from command on there.
Okay.
Command will only post on your business page, it won't post on your regular profile.
Okay.
So just create a business.
We'll do.
What else? Who else is having some trouble with it?
Wait for about Pennsylvania till Thursday when I have my headshot and whatever. Do more social media stuff after that.
Gotcha. Do you already have a picture on your Facebook?
It's very long about that.
That's fine. So I wanna, I'm glad you bring that up because I wanna touch on. When it comes to social media, and we're gonna talk about the 80-20 principle in here, and I believe this is what it's referring to as well. If not, then it's free. But when you're posting on your social media, you want to use the 80-20 principle. 80% you, right? It's gonna be just your personal life. So you have a kid, you're posting about your kid's soccer game or whatever, family stuff, regular everyday stuff that people can engage with. 20% of that content is going to be actual real estate related, right? And the reason for this, people will do business with who they like. If they like you and they can relate to you, they're going to want to do business with you. If you're super robotic and it's all just real estate and it's just professional stuff and it's just houses and just statistics, you're not gonna get as many, you'll get a couple people that'll engage if you're doing it consistently. However, people want to do business with people that they feel they can relate to, that we can have a conversation about, the weather or about race, whatever it is. Not just real estate, right? So I wouldn't hesitate to post just because you have a professional headshot. Those headshots are great and another your marketing stuff. Your social media should be you, it should be your personality. That is how people get to know you. Right? It's literally by just seeing you and engaging with you.
I've been using my personal account. It's been a business account too, so I kind of use that. Whenever I post about certain things. I usually only comment on this type of stuff, so just the algorithm can help me more. I don't know what sense.
Yeah, well, so consistency is gonna be key with that. I mean, doing, like I said, the daily 10-5-1, so 10 likes, the 5 comments, and then 1 post or share. If you're doing that consistently every day, you're gonna get into the algorithm, because what happens, once you comment on a person's post, their stuff automatically gets popped up at the top of your feed. So you're gonna consistently start seeing their stuff as soon as you engage. And the more that you engage with more people, you're gonna just constantly get this revolving door of people at the top of your list. And then what's gonna happen on their list? They're gonna start seeing your stuff more because you're active, right? And because you're commenting on their stuff, so then you're gonna pop up in like their friends or close friends or whatever it is. The suggested, yeah, that's it. So yes, and I wouldn't just comment, don't just comment on real estate stuff. Comment on everything. Like, you're not just real estate, you're a person. That's what people are gonna be drawn to, right? If you have any hobbies, you comment on that, join Facebook groups around. Anything that you're doing, you're not just an eight, you're a human. And what the more human your social media looks, the more engagement, the more people are gonna be drawn to it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, especially with the 80-20, not that I realized it, but I use my personal, but I switched it around with like business and, but I don't have just real estate stuff. I'll have like things I do, things I like. A little bit of real estate stuff and got a lot of good results.
Yeah. That people will come on things that they can relate to.
Right.
Cool. What else? So let's have some ahas around posting. And just doing it.
Doing better, maybe steps, but I'm still learning how to be active social media. But I feel like I'm doing better.
Yeah. And that's absolutely valid. I know me personally, I'm a social media lurker. Like I will lurk and I'll see everything that people post on social media, but I rarely post myself, right? And so that's why this daily 10-5-1 is literally the blueprint as to what to do. So it takes all the guesswork out of it. You don't have to overthink the comments or overthink the posts or the share or the likes. You literally just go through boom, boom, boom. Just feel like homework. I have to like 10 different posts. I need to comment on 5 of them. I need to share a post or I need to create my own share. That's literally it. And that's the formula right there. So you don't have to think about what to do or what you want. Trying to search and find content. I say this all the time, don't get analysis paralysis where you're like, I have to do the perfect post and it has to be witty, but also informative, and then it has to have my picture and then just post. What's up, guys? How's it going? How's life? Check in. Yeah, that's the post, and it feeds into the algorithm. Cool. Any questions on that? So, with us doing Ignite is designed. Who knows the purpose of Ignite and what it's supposed to, what the element is supposed to be? With the tip, yeah.
To be able to, or I know that. Build their database.
Yeah. Who else?
Production.
Exactly. That's literally the premise of Ignite, is to get you into production, ignite your career. Most of you guys are all new agents, I believe. It's literally to jumpstart your business. The only way that Ignite will be successful at jumpstarting your business is if you actually do the things, right? You guys can attend all 20 sessions and not get a single client if you do not engage and do the things, right? So if we're going around session 8 now, so We've been doing this for what, 2 weeks? About 2 weeks now? If you're not already seeing the momentum, you're not doing it right. Right, so we have to show up to the Legion, we have to do the daily success, and we have to do the 10-5-1. I don't care if you don't do it here, if you do it at home, cool, that's totally fine, do your thing, wherever you gotta do it at. But that's the only way you're going to see the improvement and going to see your business jumpstart, right? I know people that have taken Ignite several times and have no business to show for it because they're not doing the things. The curriculum is only as powerful as you allow it to be. So if you're not going to actually implement it and apply it into your routine and build this business, you're wasting your time. Fair assessment? So engage, do the activities at least for the session of Ignite, right? And then afterwards, you know what, actually, I didn't really like the 10-5-1, maybe I want to do a 5-5-5. Or maybe I want to do a 25-1, or however you want to design it. But just, all I'm asking is to commit to the sessions of the night, do the lead generation, build the habits. And then after you consistently do it and you don't see an improvement in your business, then come talk. And then we can reassess. Cool, you did all the 10-5-1, you did Legion every single day, didn't get a single client. Cool, where do we need to do this? And I would personally call Gary Cohen, hey, your Ignite program sucked. Didn't work. Right, I had 15 students come in and do it all, and didn't get a single client, right? Or the composition would be different. Okay, Carlos, I actually committed for the last, what is it, 20 sessions, math, last 12 sessions, and I saw an increase in my business, and now I have a client. Like, oh, that's worth it. Right? Cool. Awesome. That is my soapbox for today. So it says encourage. Has anybody had any successes? Has anybody gotten into this client since the start of the day? Yes, sir. Would you mind sharing?
Yeah, so since I was doing open houses, and those are one of the greatest ways to get in front of potential hot leads, warm leads. One turned into a pregnant couple, and they were starting to start their property search. So they walked into kind of a 1-2-5, and I've been talking to them for a little while.
What do you mean 1-2-5?
Oh, 1.25 million. So
Oh,
it's the house that I was sitting in. So
Right.
it's a telling them, kind of a 3-unit deal. But after talking to them for a little while, I actually got to sense that they wanted to look at single family. And what their limit was. They said it was free, but we've so I've shown them now. Properties, the wife just gave birth, so it's the husband, doing the live video, and so it's like I've been on the MLS scouring single family residences from now 1 million, up to like 1-2, because I think, based on my feel for them, they say 1.3 is like a very, very limit. And they were looking at turnkey, and they're not gonna get that in this market. So few inventory that the 1.3 is gonna get it up to 1.4 or 1.45. So now that they understand that, we're kind of slightly lowering the expectations. In other words, we're just being realistic in this market. So with some room, do some renovations, in the back pocket. So we'll see. It's not a done deal yet. Requires a lot of communication and behind the scene work. So kind of that's what I do when I'm not, doing this, like here,
Absolutely. And then I don't know if it's one of the sessions or if it would just be a class that we have, but we go over scheduling to address that specific thing. When are you supposed to be in classes? When are you supposed to be working with your clients? When are you supposed to be each of them? So time blocking. So let me ask you this: did you get them on a buyer's representation agreement?
No, so they were, even though they were starting there, they were about a week and a half's worth of looking at properties. So I asked them how many properties you've seen, how long you've been looking. And they don't want to sign buyer's agreement. They basically want, whichever realtors they need to bring them a property, or brings them the property that they want to buy, gets the deal. I don't necessarily like that. That's kind of like why I asked you about that last week. And I understand the implication, but before I get in the car and start showing them 30 properties, I sure will sit down and say, hey, we need to, handle this buyer's agreement out because, I'm your agent looking for properties for you, only for you. And I don't want to see, something like that slip through my hands, all the kind of work and effort I'm putting into it, but at the same time, if they just absolutely refuse to sign a buyer's agreement with anyone, I can't force them either, so. And I have to also be willing to kind of almost walk away, but I'm not necessarily at that point now, I'm like, they understand I'm committed to them. They're communicating with me really well, so it's been very positive. I even bought, him, at the open house, I showed him on Saturday, like a book, like about being his father. I did a little, flower arrangement from Trader Joe's, for his wife, for Mother's Day. So all the very thoughtful things that I think that, make a big difference and perhaps stand out as one of the, I don't know, 3 or 4 people that they might be having conversations with. So, because I realize everybody's pulling up the same property on it's the same 7 or 10, 12, 13 shiny objects. And I started looking at other things, like expires coming soon and then slightly out of areas. So, yeah, and found other things that kind of got their eye. So
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I think, definitely going the extra mile and showing them the thing, giving them the gifts is definitely a great addition to help you stand out. But like you said, just kind of cautioning yourself on, if you don't want to do Main Street and then somebody else goes back and shows them wants to do Main Street, are they going to write that off if you were going to write it there? And those are just things to kind of think about, especially establishing a relationship with them, right? And then also procuring clause. So, for example, you show them a property, they go and see it with another agent. Let's say they want to go see it again, and you're just not there. But that they call one of their other agents. He takes it to the property, and they end up writing an offer on it. You would have procuring clause because you were the initial agent of the property, right? But just trying to prove that without a buyer's representation agreement, it's going to be very, very difficult. So just different ways to structure it, and then also you touch on it. Not operating from a scarcity mindset. So let me ask, if you had 3 other clients that did sign a buyer's representation agreement, and then you have these clients that won't sign, and they're wanting to go see property on their own, they're wanting to go see property, who's going to take priority? Okay. So more of that story is get more clients. If you have more clients you're working with, losing that one deal is not going to sting, and being okay with walking away. I have walked away from clients before. Hey, I would love to continue working with you. You do not want to work directly with me, totally fine. I get it. I'm not for everybody. And I would be doing you a disservice if I continue with this relationship any further. I'm a established contract.
right, that's
We
exactly.
can't go into any other place and not have a contract and expect them to work for you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what this week will wind up being, sussing out, exactly how serious they are, now that we kind of walked back to away from, like 125 or 13, it's like now we're gonna go back down, and so it's like, if I show them now, because there's a lot more properties at that 1 million range than there are at 13. And, if I pull up 12 properties before we even get in the car and start doing these, I tell them, it's like, I want to get us under a buyer's agreement because I've got a lot of other properties that I need to see, and it'll be under the interpretation of like, I'm very busy, I've got other clients, I've got other business that I'm, properties that I'm searching for, even though for me, these are really my first hot lead, kind of my second hot lead. I will phrase it in a way that says, look, I'm very busy, I know you are, I don't want to waste your time, but you can't be wasting mine either, at the same time, without saying that in certain words. And letting him know I have the problem, like, he's busy, he's fulfilled everything he's ever said, he's communicated really well. He showed us some great properties. We thought they were really cool. We never looked at that area of Torrance or that area of Nando. So
Yeah, and I mean,
and
it's
if they,
being super transparent with them too.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm willing to go off and really, really work for you guys if you're willing to commit to working with me. Right. You pull up the MLS, we all have access to the same exact properties. I feel like I've shown and before the effort to show you that I'm serious. I'm an agent and I'm willing to do the work and put in the legwork to get you into your dream property and go above and beyond for you. If that's not enough to prove to you that I'm the right guy to work with you, I get it. And this may not be the right relationship.
exactly. And when I met him on Saturday, I pulled the comps. I created a and basically a comparative analysis for all of the active, expired, pending, under contract. Out of the 5 other properties, or 4 actually, because this one, I even printed out detailed property descriptions of those and say, hey, we can do those if you want, we can set an appointment to do those. So you haven't gotten back to me yet. I just feel like because they're both new parents, their heads are spinning and they're not getting any sleep. And so for me, I'm like, I'm not gonna just, hammer them every single minute of the day or every day. It's like, just a little bit of room to breathe because I know what that's been, even though that was 23 years ago for me. So I kind of understand what they're going through. I feel comfortable with this process so far. They haven't made me feel, unwanted or uncomfortable yet, and before we kind of get to that really juicy detail, 12 to 15 property list, it's like, look, maybe I'll, dangle one or two over their head, check this out. My background is in architecture. I've got my ex-roommate here's he's got his own architectural engineering firm, it's like, I can tell you, we can knock down that, we can open up the kitchen, we can take out that wall, we can do this, and so I'm actually looking forward to showing them some fixer-uppers, that they can also, put some money into, because that's where I can really show them the diamond rough stuff.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and also,
Thank you.
so awesome.
So I'm in the fight.
Yes, sir. Keep it up. Alrighty, so the agenda for today, by the end of this session, you will be able to employ the 1051 engagement system to connect with your network. It is very important. Well, we will explain the importance of limiting your social media posts to 20% of your business content. So that's what we were just talking about. And then you'll also be able to identify social media engagement strategies that add value to the people in your network. So start thinking about what you will learn today. Let's consider what questions you might have and would like to learn about. It says find a partner. You guys know that group thing. So one-on-one. So what are some things that you guys want to learn today with social media in reference to capturing social media? Yes.
Like what social media, like which one works best? Because I hear Facebook and Instagram a lot, like LinkedIn, a lot of people reach to me on that. And then also like Twitter, like stuff like where's the line?
Gotcha. So let's ask questions.
Can I answer her question?
Yeah.
With another question? Yeah, there is no one. Every social media platform, in my opinion, is unique in and of itself, and very similar. For example, if you look at TikTok, it's the age group demographic. It's going to be from that 20 up to maybe 28. I think anything above that, you're not going to get a serious person looking at your, at your post if it's real estate related, because there's a lot of other stuff out there. It's unrelated. But if you can post specifically for that platform as an example to young 21-year-olds, Dylan's 22, 20 now, how old are you, Sam? 21. He's in this class, so he's different than the average 21-year-old who's already thinking about investing in building long real estate. That would be a post. I would say do it now. Start saving before you buy the car, before you get the debt, before you go to the credit card. Stay at home. Save that money from your job. Stay living in your childhood bedroom, stuff like that. Versus Instagram, that's the main post. That's the main place where people. The younger crowds are getting on Facebook. Most everybody's on Instagram, even though he's on Instagram and I'm friends with him. He's not that active. I've already paid attention to that too, so I kind of know. But beyond that, I'm being posted. It's on social media, but posting stories. I want those things to kind of go away. I don't want them to kind of cloud in the feed, so I do post specific things that you want to stay on like Instagram.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I will say. Somebody asked a question about social media on Facebook and says, what do you do? And somebody made a really good recommendation. So I'm going to steal this. So he said, use your command website and find, like, say, for example, in this area, houses, single family houses, pools, backyard houses. And you might find for sale, active. And you might find 6. Maybe find more, and then you post those in your command, and like and then you share that as a social media post on Facebook. Because Facebook will hyperlink back to your command. Instagram won't. Instagram is a platform that doesn't, unless you create a link tree on your Instagram feed, where they can, where you say, hey, check out my at the top of my feed, you can link to it. that you're posting it. Things like that are a great way for you to have a conversation with literally no one and everyone connected to the same time. Because somebody will, oh, yeah, well, let me see what the, you know, how's the pool in the South Bay area look like. And then start having a conversation. If you keep doing that, after a while, recognizing this gentleman, this guy, this young lady, you're all doing real estate. And you're actively searching for these things, and you're making a random post that suddenly creates engagement.
Right, and so what I would tack on to that, to answer your question as well, the best social media, platform to utilize is whichever one you're going to utilize.
It's true.
But then also understanding which each one's strength is, right? On TikTok, for example, so yes, it is mostly a younger demographic. And old people like myself are on TikTok, and there are a lot of realtors on TikTok. However, TikTok is not the place you go where you want to do a full staff post, right? Or where you're showing off your latest, or your just sold, right? TikTok is where you're going for quick engagement. Society today is looking for quick engagement. 30-second clip, something quick, gonna grab their attention, gonna be catchy, gonna have a catchy song with it. Boom, you got their attention, right? You're likable. It's all about showing off your personality. It doesn't just have to be real estate. Do not do just real estate. And I beg you, please don't just post real estate stuff on social media. Show your personality. Each one of you do something that has a unique characteristic about you, or something that you do that nobody else does, right? Show that on TikTok. Instagram is gonna be where you're posting, you know, just sold, just listed, client engagement, client events. Stories are great to have for the quick engagement, right? I know personally, I'll click on one story, and the next thing you know, I've been sitting for 30 minutes and I'm like 50 stories deep, right? All because they just keep coming one after another after another. So posting on a story is a great way. Quick engagement. Facebook is where you're gonna, okay, now let me post like an actual video, let me post this stat, let me post from our last event, Red Day, client events, parties, stuff like that. So knowing each audience that you're posting to, I'm not gonna post the same thing on TikTok that I would post on Facebook, or that I would post on Instagram, or that I might post on Twitter, right? They're all different platforms, so you have to maximize each one's capabilities. You're not going to Twitter to post a full album of your just sold product, right? It's quick stats, I mean, you're engaging in dialogue, and you're retweeting stuff, right? And then also, each one of the platforms, look at who's already doing it. There are agents that are on TikTok that are doing it at a super high level, getting a lot of business from it. What are they posting? What are they doing? Look at the agents on Instagram, the agents that are posting on Facebook, have huge social media following. The people that are on YouTube as a social media platform, doing content, right? See what they're already doing and duplicate it. Not illegal, right? Rip off and duplicate. So yes, whatever one you're going to use consistently, you're going to do it, go for it. Right, so it doesn't matter which one. Of course, there are going to have different things that they contribute to, like Facebook does, like you said, give you the leads, that you generate leads through command and Facebook. Instagram, you can also get leads, not through command, but you can also post through your posts and people will DM or comment. And it's up to you to engage. Same thing with TikTok. You have to be the resource. Linking your KW website for them to go and boom, put in their contact information. You refer back to your website. Right? So there's ways to connect them all. It's just whatever one you are going to utilize at a high level when you start with one. Like this month I'm focusing on TikTok, getting my platform going, getting that system. Next one I'm focusing on Facebook, right? Only at social media 0.5135. Well, does that make sense? Any other questions about social media that you guys want to answer this during this session? Nope. Awesome. All right. Perfect. All right, it takes time to learn something, more time to implement it, and even longer to approach mastery of it. As we begin this process, what are some questions you have about learning, implementing, and mastery?
Between learning and mastery.
Learning, implementing, and mastering.
I think this is the process where like learn it, do it, and just keep it and master it.
Yeah, it literally goes back to what we were talking about, earlier in the session, right? Right now, you're in class, you're learning the thing, you're learning how to do the lead generation, you're learning how to build a business. Then you need to go implement it. Start doing things, start doing the activities, start doing the 10-5-1, start doing the legion, the connections, all that stuff, the research. The more that you do it, you will gain a level of mastery with it. So when I can ask anybody for a CMA, and yes, I have no problem going and pulling the numbers and getting this CMA within 30 minutes. Cool, yeah.
You also don't know what you learn anything.
Absolutely. Implementation is the best way to solidify your knowledge, right? It's one thing to sit in class and having to actually do that. Cool. So we are at the 10-5-1 engagement system. And it is important to know that even with social media, if conducting lead generation at all, agents must reference their market centers, KW South Bay, sorry, not Keller Williams generically in all social and written media. Is everybody get that? So, and I believe you're Long Beach Coastal, yes? Coastal? Yes, so you reference your market center. So whenever you're advertising or doing anything, it's not just Keller Williams South Bay or Keller Williams Long Beach Coastal. For representing that market center specifically. I do believe though we do have Keller Williams added is 55 plan. Make market center specific. Cool. This reinforces that you are independent contractors affiliated with your Keller Williams Market Center. So please use your Market Center DBA name when identifying yourself and follow your state rules with posting and NAR's National Association of Realtors guidelines, which is included in your participant guide. All right. Let's review the 10-5-1 social engagement system. As part of your daily success system, you've been liking, commenting, and direct messaging people on your social media profiles. You've been executing the 10-5-1 engagement system already. Today we're going to deep dive and explore tools for success within this system. We already went over what the 10-5-1 stands for. Everybody know what it stands for? Do I not know what it stands for?
Isn't it? 10 likes, 5 comments, 1 share.
One post or share, yep. As you're posting and liking more often, you guys should be noticing changes. We already chatted about that. In your participants guide, and the connect on social media section, for this activity, you'll list the social media sites you're on and connect with the other participants on those platforms. So, everybody pull up your phone. And go talk to each other. Share contact. Does everybody follow everybody?
No, it's always in the face. I just got my account.
Yeah. Says we give you guys a couple minutes to do that. You know what, actually, let's do this. Question, everybody has their, for all their social media, it's first and last name, yeah? So everybody raise your hand if it's not your actual first and last name. Okay. Okay, so 2. Can you guys just write whatever the names are on the board?
Yep.
And then everyone go through and search and find each other. Is that cool?
That's better.
But I can help that. You know me, efficiency.
Yeah. Facebook business account.
The page, so you go to create page,
Okay.
and then under there, it should have the option to select business. A business page.
I'll go with you.
Is this a specific social media platform or is this everything? Like, can I search
Well, that's like exact, mine is like exact.
for Facebook, Instagram?
Oh, not just. That's Instagram then, right?
I did Instagram.
Oh, that's. But yeah, mine is Mike's. For Facebook. I don't know.
And Twitter's.
And so the whole purpose of you guys sharing this and following each other is that when you guys are doing your daily 10-5-1, engage with each other, right? We have more than 10 people in here, so they're all your likes right there. right? There's more than 5 people in here, there's all your comments. Share each other's posts, what it's gonna do is gonna help you guys all get upset and all of it quicker. Make sense? Obviously, you can engage with other people too, but I'm saying just repeat the class and you know for sure if everybody's doing it, here you have at least 10.
That's a nice picture, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you can still share yours.
Like a personal, yeah, I'm just in the middle of trying to separate my personal social media account from brand new, like my birthday here, so I'm just.
Your new licensee.
In the process.
Okay, gotcha.
Much
So,
for me to come in today, so.
yeah, absolutely, no, I'm what I did. So before you go through and separate everything, I would caution you against it.
Yeah, so I'm like sitting back with honestly, to be transparent, I'm a little bit anxious.
Yeah.
Just to put myself out there. Right, timing.
That's okay.
It's weird.
Yeah,
That's all right. It's a new thing,
Yeah,
you know, and that's fine.
exactly.
I suffered the imposter syndrome a couple months ago.
Mhm.
Kind of like when I first, or right after I first signed, you know, with KW South Bay, and then it was like, it's real.
Yeah.
With the broker, I hung my license finally, you know, it's like,
Mhm.
and then it was like, okay, now what, you know, and it took me about a month,
Mhm.
and a half. Do my first like live post, like a video, hey, this is me, this is who I am. Now, I did some other posts here and there, you know, about content. Real estate related, but that was like my first like, you know, hey, you know, this is what I do now, you know, in case you haven't noticed, you know, this is what I do now. And I, you know, beat fast, you know, and definitely the adrenaline was through the roof, but
Right now,
and I did it, took a deep breath, and you walk back, and the end result is no one's coming down and on you.
No.
You do a post and say, hey, man, why in the hell are you in real estate? Like, are you crazy? No one's doing that. They're usually saying, hey, congratulations, that's cool, that's awesome. And then, and if they don't say anything at all, that's fine, because after you post another dozen times, they'll eventually get it, like, this is what you chose to do with your life. Look at your friends and imagine that they've done different things in their life too. Like in my friends group, each one of them has changed their career every 5 to 10 years. They're on their 4th or 5th job, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Really, me, this is like my 3rd thing in my life, you know, so it's like, they're used to me being one thing all those years. Well, I'm not gonna get pigeonholed into that. You know, you get to reinvent yourself any way you like.
Cool.
So just do it, embrace it.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, every single realtor has suffered with imposter syndrome. And to be honest with you, you are going to suffer with it your entire career. You know, we get it with becoming an agent, like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm talking about, like, you think I do, and I'm now an expert, but okay, cool, let's do it. And then you get your first client, and they're asking you questions like, oh God, I'm so not qualified, you're gonna be talking to them, but I'm gonna answer their questions. And then you get it, and close your deal, right, and then you get another client, and it's a higher price, when you're like, oh man, I've never done one this time, but I'm not gonna tell them that, I'm definitely impossible right now. And you just get more and more comfortable with it, right? And so, yeah, so don't let that stop you, right? And I know you said you were a little bit anxious, but you were just talking about an entire class of realtors. 100%. So, as I say, you're more qualified to do things than you think. And you're gonna notice that throughout your career with real estate, and that you're going to be learning the things, and you're just gonna keep on raising up your confidence level and your ability to take on more and more. So yeah, welcome to class. Glad to hear
It's been a good first day so far.
it. Good. Feel free to chime in, ask questions. You're more than welcome to engage in the conversation.
If I can make a comment, it's not beating up on anyone in particular. But one thing I've noticed about real estate agents, like outside this office, is I've seen so many pages that are private, like it's a private Instagram, you know, like I've got a request to follow you. Yet it says you're a realtor. And I don't, you know, that makes it sound like they're a secret, you know, 8%, you know, and I'm like, if you want to be in a public spying on somebody's, you know, top of mind, get rid of that private profile and, you know, and clean up your profile first if you need to remove a few things that are, like your college cake stands or whatever like that, maybe fix that. But beyond that, start posting hobbies, dreams, family, and real estate, and not exactly in that order, mix it up, and you'll start getting people paying attention to what you do.
Yeah.
And anybody that says realtor or homes or, or things like that, real estate related, I think also, chose to, to engage with people that want to identify as like, I'm a realtor, typically. But again, it was like a lump in my throat, when I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna own the Surf City Realtor, and so I went and did trademark search, I did website, stuff, and I've already parked those domains on GoDaddy and stuff like that. And so eventually that's the branding part of it. Whereas I could have just said Lloyd Taylor Realtor, which is fine. That's a great start, and I believe that everyone should start with, real estate, realtor, or something like that, where people know what you do every single time they do it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Your profile should be open. Don't do private profiles. Just because you want people to be able to find search. You want to be able to pop up in their explore page and all of those things on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. So you definitely have a public page. And then I'm kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier. Not separating business and personal. But I was keeping together. I have two Facebooks myself because I separated in the very beginning of my career. And it's so much to try to manage. People are messaging me on one. I'm not logged in, I'm logged into the other one. And you're missing messages, you're missing stuff. It's just like, no, on one. And that way you can combine your actual life, like you said. And this is another thing that helps with the imposter syndrome. If you're being truly authentic to yourself and showing off your genuine personality, people are going to gravitate to that. And they're going to want to see that. They're going to want to work with you. And that's how you establish this relationship. It's by being your authentic self. And you can't do that if you're putting on a kind of professional facade, right? I'm professional, and so like part of it is like have fun, so I can go out, so like right?
Question. Now you're mentioning personal business profiles are connected to this, so whatever I post on the business is gonna go directly to my personal. No, I had to remind her.
You have to directly share it.
Oh.
Yeah. Correct.
If I do it right.
No problem. Okay, cool. So now we have all the social media up there. Perfect. Like I said, help each other out, follow each other, like each other's pages, the whole nine. All right. Every day you should like or love or react to 10 posts by other people. This is a quick and easy and something you're probably already doing, and now it's time to approach it with a business mindset. Social media is a fantastic tool, and it is free to use when it comes to marketing and prospecting. It's important to be active on all of your social media platforms of choice because it will help you generate new business. So how do you think interacting with others on your social media can help you build your business? Or it doesn't?
Maybe like act like just commenting and stuff.
Yeah, how do you think it can build your business?
Because you could probably, like we said before, like, oh, that's cool, whatever it is, and then how you doing? Oh, and then it starts to like, how's work? And oh, and then that's how it can kind of like really change the ways, I guess.
Absolutely. Well,
I think it's kind of like the Coca-Cola brand. Coca-Cola has like their name everywhere. So I think it's kind of like the more you see their name, when you get thirsty, like that'll be like your first stop, Coca-Cola. So in that same way, like the more you pop up on their screen, the more familiar they are with your name. And when they do have a need, they'll think of you first.
yeah, 100%. Brand recognition, right? Anything we've done with Mindshare exercise before, yeah. So we're gonna Mindshare exercise with me? The Mindshare exercise? If I ask you right now to name 2 realtors, who would you name? If you better don't say it. I think you
I've
better.
never done it.
Okay, so name 2 realtors.
Michelle Brown,
And
Jennifer Wilson.
name 2 realtors.
Christine,
And
Carlos.
cool. Anybody else? Name 2 realtors?
If I've done this before, should I answer it?
No, okay. Exactly. You guys are all agents. You guys did- So, it's all about mind shift. So the agents that you name have mind shift. So you're seeing their brand, you're seeing them in the forefront. So it's getting yourself to be that recognizable. You know, if I draw a swoosh on the board, everybody's gonna be what? Exactly, right? And I put a different swoosh, but yeah, Nike, right? Just like you said with Coca-Cola. So everybody's gonna have that brand recognition. You see the symbol of the logo, boom, I'm automatically thinking about shoes. Right? So same thing with real estate. When they see your logo or they see your picture, you want to be synonymous with, hey, this guy can help me sell my home. And I feel like another person. Right? And the only way to stay in front of them is to doing things that they like, which are also things you like. Makes sense? Cool. Awesome. All right, connect with your market by reaching out with comments. Beyond your likes, you also need to comment on 5 posts a day. You aren't writing a full dissertation. So this is not a super, we're not getting into political debates. We are not getting into religious debates. It's literally just on keeping it in general, right? Just a few words of encouragement, congratulations, or admiration are great. Spread positivity and optimism. That is why I say we don't want to go down rabbit full on 42 comment debate about, you know, whatever topic, right? It's just a general, some congratulations, love this, or you're doing great, keep up the good work, or here, something positive. It can be easy to overthink on social media, so it's very important to bring a unique voice and brand to the comments that participants make, or that you guys make. The branding and the voice will help make writing the comments a smooth process. Just be you. Whatever your brand is, be you. I know Lloyd, Surf City Realtor, he's obviously gonna comment on stuff about surfing or about, you know, LA. Maybe he has like a hashtag that he can come up with. That boom, that's gonna be your hashtag when you comment. One of my best friends, her mom, the last part of her tagline is way cool. So every time she comments on one of my posts, she says, that's way cool. It's an older lady, don't give her crap for it. But it's like super cheesy and corny, but that's like her thing. It's way cool. It's like, okay, that's awesome. So have your tagline, whatever it is, that your brand, right? That you just put on there. You didn't put it in the comments you don't have? Right? What's a comment you've received on a social media post recently that made you feel seen or heard?
Posted like,
You guys don't have to raise your hand.
oh, so you blurted out.
Yeah, just feel free to share.
I just recorded a house that I obviously, I asked another agent if I can go record the house and they got to permission, obviously. So I just recorded a house, you know, simple, it was like, like 3 minutes away from my house, I did it. And got a good reaction with it and a lot of confidence. So within those comments were like, hey, I gotta talk to you soon, you know what I mean? So there's little things like that, good reaction.
Absolutely. And all the people that say they gotta talk to you soon, put them in your database, you schedule a phone call when they're gonna talk to you. Hey, sorry, comment,
Yeah.
reach out,
Exactly.
or however you wanna approach the script. But yeah, those are all people that, you know you're doing real estate and would be interested in having a conversation. It's not like, hey, you want to talk about something you want to buy right now? Let's see you can buy. No, it's just, hey, how's it going? How are things? How's life? You know, yeah, dude, that house is sick. Absolutely love it. Pool was amazing. It's ridiculous. The view, whatever. Talk about that house. That's it. You don't have to ask them to sign with you at this moment or to buy with you right now.
Yeah.
It's just getting in relationship. And I think that's where we go wrong a lot of as agents, is that we're looking for the get sell, which is great. And it's all about building the relationship. Right? Because I know, for example, my best friend, we have a solid relationship. Whenever she decides to sell her house, I'm the go-to person. Not because I'm constantly asking her for business, but because we have a super dynamic relationship. Not saying you have to be best friends with every single person in your database, right? But have a relationship. Reaching out when they post milestones on social media. They just had a baby. Reaching out, sending them a card, sending them a small gift. right? They just got married, sitting in something off of their registry. Right, they just took a trip, checking in, hey, how was Hawaii? Me and the family thinking about going, how was it? Where'd you guys stay? Actually genuinely being interested, right? And that's how you're gonna build those relationships. We're like, wow, this person actually cares about me. I can't sell my house to somebody else. I can't buy a house somewhere else. This person has shown up and reached out and followed up with me. So we have a relationship. Even if it's just through social media. I know in person, there's people that I talk to on social media all the time that we've never met in person. So we just talk on social media. And like, we're really good friends, great friends, all the time. They're always liking my stuff, I comment, great. Good relationship, right? Cool. All right. Every day you should also create one original post, share someone else's post, or direct message someone. When you share someone else's post, things like community activities, fundraisers, quotes, or other useful or inspirational posts, think about the uniqueness you intend to bring to someone's information. Writing a private or direct message is another good way to show that you care. I'm sure you guys have friends who are artists or have created something or are in bands or do artwork or have businesses. Share it.
I had a conversation with two friends of mine today, and I was telling them to share our business. One is has a musician music. I told her, I don't know how I can help you, but we can share each other's posts. Same to my other friend, he's selling cars. And I told him, send the info or the person you're selling, and you do the same, so we can recommend out each other.
Absolutely.
And another thing that way to me, when you start getting phone calls from people that you don't know, but they saw you from because a friend shared the post. When is a good time that we can give the buyer's agreement to the client?
So I typically would do the buyer's representation agreement at the buyer's consultation.
At the buyer's.
At the buyer's office. So soon as you meet up, so that should be the first thing, right? If I reach out and say, hey, I'm looking to buy, it's not, okay, cool, let's go look at property. No. We have a process, right? So let's set up a buyer's consultation, let's talk, let's figure out what your wants and needs are. Let me explain who I am as a brand and what my value proposition is, what level of service I bring to the table, establish the relationship there. And then we're going to talk about the buyer's representation agreement. At the end of our consultation, get that signed. Cool. Now that we have the buyer's rep agreement signed, we're going to be working together. I'm going to have my lender call you. I'm going to have my lender call you. Right? Not go ahead and call my lender whenever. No, I'm going to have my lender call you. I'm going to set up an appointment for you guys to meet, to get all your financials, to make sure you're qualified, to show you exactly how much you're qualified for. Start that financial process. In the meantime, once he lets me know that you're qualified for X amount of dollars, I'm going to start the search for your property based on the criteria that we went over today that you're looking for. I'm going to be sitting properties. Feel free to be super blunt. Let me know what you like, what you dislike, what's pretty, what's ugly. I didn't build a house personally, so I'm not going to be offended to say house, but tell me the truth. Like, if you don't like the house, that's totally fine. I probably don't like it either. Let's move on. But yes, have that conversation with them. Cool. Now I have agreement signed. Makes sense? Well, you know why I say have the lender call them instead of them call the lender?
Don't ever go.
Exactly. They'll say, oh, yeah, I'm gonna call them tomorrow, and then you don't hear from them, right? The lender, you can, they're another professional, and you can help hold the lender accountable, like, hey, did you reach out to Center because they have a vested interest. If this person does not buy, they don't get paid, right? So they're going to want to reach out. And also with the, they help a lot with clients that are, I don't want to say flaky, but not as go-getter as some other clients, right? So if they're a little bit sparse with responding, you're following up, and then you also have the lender following up, it's double follow-up. Right, so it takes all the pressure, a lot of the pressure off of you, to where you know you have somebody else that's calling, reaching out, trying to get them in and kind of get the process. But there's been times where I've sent the client and have the lender call them and reach out, and they ghosted me. And the lender's like, oh yeah, hey, I just talked to such and they're cool, we just got qualified, we're set for this. And I'm like, oh, I've been trying to get in touch with them for weeks. They haven't returned my call, but they chatted with the lender, so it's cool. right? So yeah. I have a question.
I was pretty nice.
Sure.
Yeah, something.
Oh, cool. Keep in mind, all questions help each other, right? So there's no such thing as a bad question, or dumb question, or anything like that. Chances are somebody else is gonna have a similar question. Okay, cool. Also birthdays, commenting for birthdays, telling people happy birthday, doing like an absolute post for them, for their birthday. It's a great way to show engagement, so that you like actually care and do it first. Perfect. When you create your original post, make sure to follow the 80-20 rule. We're going to talk more about that in just a moment. All right, so I want at least 3 ahas, huh?
Question.
Yeah.
So the 10-5-1, so is it for every 10 you do 5-1? Or
No. Good question, and I think I get what you're saying. So they can be different, right? And I would encourage it to be different people. So let's say I comment on 10 of you guys, or I like 10 of your posts. I'm going to comment on a different 5 posts, not from you, from other people, right? And then I'm going to create my own post or share. So it doesn't have to be like, hey, I like 10 posts and I have to comment on your 10, and then I'll have to share one of your. No, it can be different people.
oh no, it was more what I was getting was more just like, so if it's 10-5-1, so if I do 20, if I do 10-5, you 10-2.
There's. This is the minimum. You can do however many you want. So if you like 10 posts, you can also comment on 10 posts if you want. This is just the minimum to help build that engagement, right? In the 10-5-1. If you want to like 5,000 posts and comment 550 people and make 1,000 posts, do your thing. You know, that's all you. This is just the minimum, and the reason why it's set this way, and I really want you guys to take this in. It's set this way so that way it is that, right? We want it to be something that you guys can consistently do every single day. And when you try to add in, okay, well, I'm gonna do 100 likes, I'm gonna do 200 comments. It's like, okay, cool, that's it for today when you're super motivated. But what about the days where you're super busy? Or the days where you just don't feel like working, right? Are you still gonna be able to do that same? So this is an attainable goal that can be duplicated. You can easily do this from the bed, you can do it from the car, if you're traveling, you can do it from the airport, whoever, easily do your 10-5 and stay in that habit. That's your bare minimum to do. Days where you have extra time for, then you do it that. So this is the minimum. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What are some aha? At least 3 ahas. Yes, sir.
Maybe understanding like the algorithm a little bit, and like knowing your audience for different platforms. So that's some of the ahas were like,
Yeah. Very good.
Understanding that when I wrote about what I do, that
I know we're gonna go a little more into it, but I really like that 80-20 rule. I think it's gonna be able how to measure your post.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll share, so. I'll say that. So I have a coaching client, and we chatted about, you know, and it's similar to what we talked about before, imposter syndrome. And what we realized in our coaching session was that we were trying to create an image. And that's the wrong way to go about it. It's trying to create a specific image. You have to be authentic to yourself. He has a side business that he already does with posting events. So we're like, why not marry the two? Instead of trying to create a separate image for real estate, a separate image for your events, marry the two and do it all together, right? Have your events sponsored by your real estate, right? And your real estate brand. So for me, it would be whatever event sponsored powered by Horton. And then also, so this, I did say, whatever it is that you guys already do, just enhance that and include real estate into it. Don't change who you are for real estate. Include who your real estate persona is into your business. Right, so if you do like state position or do designs, I let that be a part of it. I create a super cookie cutter, kind of a real estate, I'm gonna pose like this. You want to be authentic to yourself, maybe yours gonna have a surfboard in it, because you're a Surf City realtor. And that's gonna do it. If you do graphic design, maybe your whole business card, your image and your logo is like graphic design that you created, that's like super engaging and authentic to what your brand and what you represent. And just-
Yeah, I can relate to what you're saying because like I said, I had been on social media for like 2 years. So when I got back on and made a new account, like I put my headshot in there and everything, I put realtor, like DRE number. And I figure like it might be weird to some old friends that I disappeared from social media. And all of a sudden I come back, as you mentioned, like this cookie cutter real estate agent. So I feel like that would be too intimidating to people in a way, like it's a stranger,
Yeah.
Rather than like getting back on social media as like who I am, it's more familiar and, more welcoming, I guess.
Absolutely. And honestly, it makes people hesitant to respond to your messages. Because of our chance. If I look like a salesman, people are not gonna engage, like, okay, what's Carlos trying to sell something this week, like, no, not gonna think right there, I'm responding to messages. The comments are gonna look super, super fake. Just like, no, not even doing it. But I can reach out and ask if I got hacked. Like, like, whatever, it's fine. So yeah, this authenticity. Cool. Alrighty, so. Everybody good? Anybody need a water break? Good. Perfect. All right, so next we are talking about posting practice. All right, so you guys should have a section about this in your participant guide. You're up to A+. So your participant guide is built to supplement what we go over. So it's gonna have activities in there. The participant guide is different from this, so it's not gonna look exactly like what I'm looking at. It's gonna have your own like activities and stuff to do and to utilize. So definitely refer to that. So it says, now let's talk about the 80-20 practice regarding social media posts. 80% of your posts should be about something other than real estate. Right? So this is literally whatever you want to talk about. Only 1 out of every 5 posts that you guys make should be about your real estate business. Right? Why do you think that's important? I know we talked about it briefly. Well, a lot. So why do you guys think that's important?
I think because interacting with people and like you said, being organic. Nobody wants that cookie cutter look.
Yeah. 100%. People want to do business with people that they like, people that they can relate to, people that are speaking the same language. I'm coming up there, talking regular, cookie cutter real estate lingo. That's smart. If I'm talking to them, meeting them where they're at, I'm talking to them like I normally talk to my friends and giving them real fast. That's what's going to get them to want to do this. And the best part about being organic and original, the people that want to do business with you are only going to want to do business with you. People that want to do business with you are only going to want to do business with you. People that want to do business with me are going to want to do business with me, and so on, right? They're going to relate to whatever, and that's totally fine because there's enough business in the South Bay for everybody to eat. Right? I don't have to try to steal anybody's life. We don't have to compete. There's enough business for everybody to have more than their fair share. We have to be honest with you. Still keep in mind you're a real estate agent. So yes. 20% real estate content. So maybe we're posting like a weekly stats or making a fun and engaging video. Like I said, being honest to yourself. But most of it should just be about you. If you have kids, I don't have kids. I can't do all the things that parents can do. As far as, sporting events and PTA meetings and all that fun stuff. But finally supposed to like your family on social media. If you're going on a trip, post that. If you guys, Mother's Day just passed, like, who did a post for Mother's Day other than the Happy Mother's Day, all mothers, right? Maybe you're posting your brunch, or maybe you and your family are chilling, you're posting that, right? So post whatever it is that naturally happen. So let's dig deep into this idea of an 80-20 practice. Instead of inundating your social media platforms with listings and business content, adopt this principle. Make 80% of your posts about your interests. You could post about what you're reading, where you're traveling, your favorite foods or activities. For example, you may be an avid trail runner, gardener, or stargazer. It's important to create a unique perspective and experience with the post. In your participant guide, you can make a list. You have it open, sir. Of up to 5 things that you're passionate about. So if you have a separate sheet of paper, write down 5 things that you're passionate about. And use those interests as doorways into your real estate plan. I want you to think back to the 3rd day of the course, so the 3rd day of Ignite, when you brainstorm your social media brand or niche. And then we'll have a couple people share, and we can maybe mastermind around how we can relate that to real estate. So they should live in jeopardy.
You actually watch Jeopardy?
No, my grandmother did.
Because if you did, I would be surprised.
I know. Used to. All right, who wants to share? Couple interests.
One of the interests that I, from paper was jujitsu, it's like martial arts. So I've been doing it for about 2 years.
Dude,
And I
the
did
kick-ass realtor. Please.
I taught for the
Very cool.
training stuff. Interact with a lot of like law enforcement as well, because they're obviously kind of like in that. So
Absolutely. So how can we engage that with real estate?
engage it within like you talking about like social media wise. Like I said, I think majority of people are doing that, and especially like in gym would be like law enforcement. So I think you going around like guys like that. Just to run. I don't know.
Yes, and I think we're getting too businessy, right? Literally just posting, like if you're at a competition, they do your competition and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dude, post your next competition or post your warm-ups, post your practice, like actually like have that as part of your brand or part of your content that you're posting. It doesn't have to say, hey, I can break a board and I can break a good wheel.
I like it.
Break it, no, right up the dome, right?
I like it.
But no, it's just you. And
Yeah.
just your jujitsu and the competition that you're traveling for. If you're adding those for a comp, post the scenery, just things like that, just posting and engagement, and people are going to naturally be interested.
I think when it comes to the 80-20, being organic, like just posting a story, they're gonna click on you, and then more likely they're gonna probably click the profile, and then within your profile you'll see like, oh, he's in real estate too. So like, right, like it doesn't have to always be like real estate, So that's why it's just all about the clicking too. It's all about clicks.
And I mean, if you want to use the capacity.
Yeah, I like it.
I was going to say,
Mine is, there's just two things. One, it's a important statement. First is in social media, I always thought that people post their like profile photo, you know, like mine is that real estate headshot, which I deliberated, you know, like, should I post that? So I did, and I updated all my social media platforms, you know, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, And because I think it's consistent across all platforms, people know it's me, and then when I change it again, I'm gonna rechange that. The last picture I had was just kind of informal, you know, me, which I liked the best. I think Cheyenne did a great job with headshots. I'm not bagging on that. That's a little bit too formal for me. If you guys understand, you know, like probably thought that same way. It's like, you know, I only bought a suit 2 months ago because I needed two suits. You know, the last suit I bought was when I got married 25 years ago. So I haven't needed suits in business. Like that's why I struggled with the formal photo. So, but the deeper connection on the social media profile photo is that people always post what they do with it, not what they do. And I'll say that again, is that, in other words, it's whatever your hobby or you're passionate about, like that's the thing. So yeah, mine does say Surf City Real Estate, but you know, I do have a ton of paddle boards, stand-up paddle boards. My background was cycling, triathlon, like that. So I do post a lot of those things. Plus my dogs, my wife, and my partner. So I was against my social media looks like I have ADHD, and that's okay because it's a lot of interest in things that I'm passionate about that I want to share. In addition to design, architecture, and real estate. So
To kind of double tap on that, this is one of my agents from Bakersfield, it's Bill Gordon. And his team is Gordon Apartment guys, they do investment, super profitable, like they are top producers. And that has been his headshot forever. And it's literally a picture of him like with his briefcase, like running. Because his motto is we go the extra kilometer. And like that was like his thing, like he said. And so I say that to say it doesn't have to be a traditional headshot. The picture's like super old, super blurry. And this guy is a multi-million-dollar producer and has a property management company in-house. And they have a whole residential division as well now. So it's like he has built this whole team around that super cheesy photo of him running with the briefcase in the suit. Right, so the same thing, like you said, with the surfboard, you know, just enhancing your brand, whatever it is that you want it to be. Don't be afraid to be cheap and to be authentic. He's a super cheesy guy. Like in person, like talking to him, very awkward to talk to. He's not good in social settings, and it's just him. So I wanted to pull this as an example. So you're absolutely right. There's another person I want to share. Anybody else want to share?
I'll share.
Yeah.
Things I'm passionate about: fitness, arts, video games, technology.
Absolutely. Even incorporating that into your marketing, right? And into who you are as an agent. Posting about your art that you do, posting about fitness. I know a lot of agents that post about their workout during the fitness platform. People do engage with that. So 100%. Cool. Love it. Anybody else want to share? Yeah. Okay.
For my top three, I just put family, working out, and cars.
Dude, cars are huge. Absolutely.
I really had the idea too of like going to car meets. I think that's like a great way to network. 100%. Especially when you go to like the luxury car meets.
Yeah. 100%. You know, even just posting about it. And then I also recommend all you guys that wrote down the interest, go on Facebook in the group section and find groups to be a part of locally that have those same interests. So I'm sure there's a jiu-jitsu group here in South Bay. I'm sure there's art groups that do art meetups. I'm sure there's car groups and things. And just be active in there. Not necessarily posting about real estate, just be an active member, contribute in the membership, right? Of just chatting with them. And that would be a great way to build that database of passively where you're just here to talk about cars and they're like, oh, well, can you also help with some happening? Yeah, I want to look at this car. But that's how you want to get to that point where you're like asking, like, oh, hey, you're just doing what you love. Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, you could go to the meetup. Everyone know about that?
Oh, yeah.
It's tell me, I mean, the realtor.
There's a meet about, like,
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, you find things that you like. So I used to, my mom, hiking happy hour.
Cool.
It's called Nita.
New homework, so everybody download the
And-
meetup app. Well, the meetup now.
Still need no professional program, just professional programs and oh, yeah. All throughout the weeks.
Or you can even start with.
Yeah.
Love it. That's if you want to share all of it.
Oh, yeah, I had family, sports, traveling, home improvement, cooking.
Absolutely, dude, cooking is huge. People love people that can cook. And like that can like definitely be like something that you do for your clients, like, you know what? Maybe when we close, I'll like come and cook you guys dinner in your new house and they're gonna get it. But something like, however you wanna, you know, I'm gonna do it, we go to cooking class. Like, people would definitely come to a cooking class, one of my good friends in Bakersfield, she does charcuterie boards, and we talk about her doing a charcuterie board class. Like, we're teaching people how to make the board, so like, dude, you could, so much you can do about food. Absolutely, love that, you guys all really cover businesses literally already, it's an amazing interest, so yes, let's do it. All right, now what are we talking about? 20% of your posts can be self-promotion or posts about business, where I'm speaking awards I've won, events I'm hosting, listings, things like that. Posting inspirational quotes can help engage followers and friends. Quotes also kind of have a foot in both camps of the personal and business posts. If someone regularly interacts with quotes that it might be a good idea for you to ask what the quote means to them, right? So if you're posting something inspirational, maybe you do the quote and say, what does this mean to you, or discussion piece or open forum, whatever, get an engagement going, right? And then also respond to people. Nothing's worse than a realtor posing a question, or even a person in general posing a question and then not respond. I hate doing that thing. Not leaving things. I want to know how the story ends, respond to me. There's so many people that will post questions or ask something, and or they'll say, with agents do this a lot. Big news coming soon. I want to know by the end of the day. So yes, engage with people, comment back, talk back to them. Yeah. What are some other business posts you could create that might help increase engagement on social media? Yes, sir.
One of them I really had success was when I was making those videos for houses like that. I put guess the price or like, and oh my god, everybody loved that because like it's like a challenge for themselves and like kind of like a game where like just guessing the price and you know that house and I'll just respond like, oh, close, but like you know all you got is spot on or like whatever it is.
Imagine what happens if you said guess the price and the winner gets a $5 Starbucks or Starbucks.
Yeah.
Or an Amazon gift card, or a raffle, or free home evaluation, whatever, right? You're already getting a lot of engagement question, now it's just not. Yeah,
It's the price.
yep, and then now, guess what they have to give you? They have to give you their address. Now you can put that in the command, you don't need to have their mailing address, now you can email them and send them postcards and whatnot, anytime.
Exactly. Yep. And that was without that was just like first time doing it, you know, so seeing that and maybe adding that like a little price.
Absolutely. They're probably gonna talk about it in here, but it's called a MOFR, make offer for immediate response. Or having a call to action in your post, so something that's like engaging them to do something, or they want you to respond. Right, so I'm sure we'll talk about it in here as well, but good, I love that. Who else has any ideas on how to engage people? Talk about offer.
Similar to that, pretty much what he did, but you can ask like, what would be the FHA down payment? And then they can kind of like, guess that, and then as they do that, they can kind of like figure out like, oh, shoot, maybe I could afford this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, the down payment, that'd be cool. Yep. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. People would really try to figure that out, because some people think, you know, you need $100,000 for a buy or even. So, yeah, absolutely. Love it. All right. To go over the top, give 110% and be the real estate expert of choice, consider making an extra 10% of your post be public service / crossover posts. Sometimes you have knowledge that others need. Be active in your community and inform your connections of important public service updates. It's a great way to be of service to many people at once. So examples of that would be property tax increases, school closures, food banks, animal shelters in need. I'd say pick some service that you want to be a part of, or some aspect of the community that you want to be a part of, that you're already passionate about, and report on it. If you're already really passionate about animals, maybe you're posting about, you know, weekly animals that are up for adoption, the SPCA. Or maybe you're posting about food bank needs, or maybe you have church time and you're posting about your church events that they have going on. Things like that, just being active in the community as a community service. Right? Great way to build engagement, and that opens up another market of people that could potentially want to buy, sell, and invest with you. Cool. In times of challenges and crisis, agents can be helpful members and bright spots in their community. If any of you guys live in a community that has an HOA, I recommend being part of the HOA. Just to be a part of the decision making and all of the things. And that resource. That's cool. What are some other examples of helpful information you could provide on social media?
You could post market updates, that's real estate related, so, because people often want to know how many houses are available for sale in their area. And I mean, those are standard posts, and no, I'm saying that now, I haven't posted that yet, but I do want to. I've just been kind of trying to figure out, like, what's the background picture going to be, is it, you know, the beach, you know, stuff like that. Yes, but how I'm going to post that, you know, so you find that information on the class, you know, so you want that same down there. And then it's just a quick snapshot. Yeah. Oh, where do you find that?
Command design.
In Command. Yeah, because the problem with that part is I'd rather just post it and not have to go through a post on Command sometimes, you know, it's like, I get that part of it.
Yeah, and you absolutely can, right? You can download it, or you can create it organically yourself. I think it goes back to what we said before, analysis paralysis. It's literally just post. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. I don't care if you use Command or you don't use Command. And I make your life easier to use Command, absolutely. But Canva has to be really killer template, so I'm a huge fan. So wherever you find a template, that's totally fine. Just focus. I wouldn't stress about it. Just focus. Cool. Awesome, love it. Oh, we're already done with that one. Aha. Well, at 12 exactly. Any
Interacting with the community, being involved with your local areas. When I say all that for sure something to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that.
Putting the name up there.
Coming from contribution, love that. Anyone else?
Join your Facebook groups based on your interests. You don't have to talk about real estate, but you know, you get to know some people and make connections.
Absolutely, love that. Love it. All right, moving right along. Social media strategy is where we are at next, and we are almost done. Okay, y'all make it up on third. Actually, I want to be able to get you guys in early. Give you all the content faster than all the other instructors, make me better. All right, so you now know the numbers of how often you should be posting and the 80-20 practice that should help guide you when you make those posts. Let's look at some more strategies to employ when increasing engagement on social media. If you're like most people and use social media every day, you can think of it as a 365 touch system. Next. There are many different social media sites, including Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and so many more. Different strategies will apply to different platforms, kind of like we were talking about already, using each platform to its specific capacity. What is your favorite social media platform to find content? Anybody? Instagram's great, absolutely. Who else finds content elsewhere, anywhere? Absolutely. And then thinking about what's your favorite platform to post content? What ideas do you have for social media that will work, that work for you or you've seen work? Where have others that came before you found success, right? So I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier. Doesn't matter which platform you utilize, just use the platform. It really doesn't matter which one it is. Just pick one, be consistent with it, and follow their premise. If you're on TikTok, then post pictures on TikTok, post a video or a reel, right? Follow their reel. If you're on Instagram, don't write a lengthy dissertation. You know, Facebook. Right? And if you're on Facebook, use the stories for the reels. I know on Instagram, if you create a reel on Instagram, you can share it on Instagram as well as your Facebook. Yeah, so that's good. But also, you can make a TikTok, you can share it on Instagram, and also share it on your Facebook, your stories. So figure it out. You see it, guys. Figure it out. All right, so you'll have to create posts that highlight your business. Think about hyper local information. Keeping current and potential customers aware of the latest market trends in your neck of the woods is a surefire way for you guys to position yourself as experts while providing valuable information to your audience. Utilize tech developments. That with the release of the KW app and an arsenal of customizable templates and command to help support you, it's easy to build the anticipation and excitement that will help highlight and amplify your business. Don't be afraid to post positive client testimonials. It is not bragging. It's okay. If a client leaves your review, post it. That's totally fine, right? Word of mouth recommendations in real estate carry the same weight as they do in the industry. So highlighting a quote from a happy customer is a great way for agents to establish credibility while allowing your brand to shine. Makes sense? You can have it, you can create a post and direct it to your Yelp page or your testimonials page that you can create through command or your Zillow page. I do have a Zillow page, even though I don't like Zillow. But I do have an agent page where it shows all of my previous sales and shows my client reviews. I stopped advertising. 4-star, 5. You're on the whole thing. But that's neither here nor there. Cool, makes sense. Questions? All right. Another important thing to remember is to make sure you don't post and ghost. That's what we were just talking about. Great posts will lead to steady streams of engagement, comments, likes, and shares. Don't let them sit. The more you guys engage in social media, the more you'll be engaged with by your followers. Like I said, if somebody comments, respond to their comments. Don't just ignore them and let it sit there. This is such a cool career that you're encouraged to be on your phone and to be on social media, right? And to be responding and talking to people. That is lead generation, right? It is a lead generation activity. So it's okay to sit and be on social media, responding to comments and liking things and posting and all that stuff. It's a part of your job. Time block it and have it on your calendar, but absolutely do it. Absolutely respond to these folks. Time block for social media. Set aside time each day to respond to every person who has commented on and liked your post. Each post is an opportunity for business. And we already talked about why it's important to acknowledge others' comment or like the post. And then also be aware, if you see a certain person that's like consistently liking and commenting on your post, talk to them, reach out, send them a DM. Hey, just want to check in. How are things going? How's life? How's the things? Right? Don't be afraid to engage. They're reaching out by commenting and liking. Why not do it? What? When you navigate the online world, it's important to find communities where you can add value. At the end of the day, people will feel that you're offering them value. Through Facebook groups and communities, you can offer value to literally thousands of people. Finding the right communities to be a part of can take time, and this time invested will be well worth it. Makes sense? So that's kind of what we were talking about earlier with the Meetup app, and then also the liking the groups or finding the groups on Facebook to be a part of. What are some online communities you're already a part of and adding value to? How can you leverage to create this much? Talk about this a little bit earlier. Cool. All right, so in your participant guide, there should be a section here, it's okay, it's called activities posts on social media. It said that you'll pair up and find market stats and post on social media allowed for 3 minutes. Some of you guys just find something now. Do you want to do it in groups? Or you guys just find it right now by yourself? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's find something to post. Find something to post. Yep. Anything.
If you mentioned market, I thought we had to do a little market research.
That's what it specifically does say, find market stats and post on social media. But I mean, raise your hand if you post something on social media in the last 24 hours. Okay, well, post again, guys. I was hoping nobody's gonna raise their hand. Like, "Oh, that wasn't good." But yeah, so just post.
Can I post that we're doing training right now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great for new ages to post being in class. So it says, how does what we've talked about today help inform our upcoming social media posts? So approaching it, how are you approaching it differently than we would have had we not talked about all the things that we talked about today? Raise your hand. Post. Huh?
Can be anything.
Where do you? It makes me question.
No, I know that's not. I know, but I'm saying like the app. Posting. Like you're saying, like interacting with like things, the hobby.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I want to say I'm not posted. And so,
Is it okay if I tag you?
of course,
Yeah.
absolutely, tag folks. 100%. More people you tag in it, You can tell some of your new friends that you just followed on social media. At the office in all of your posts, you have a pretty good following. But yeah, feel free, the more tag is gonna show up more. There it is. I posted. Absolutely appreciate it. Because I don't want anybody to say I'm not posting on social media again. Alright, cool. Those people get your post then. Cool. Awesome. So, when you're posting a lot on social media platforms, it's important to be authentic. And we talked about this a lot already. When you're authentic, people are drawn to you. It's the authentic version of yourself that people will do business with. Don't be a jack of all trades with all social media channels. Get what that means? Pick which one you're good at, pick which one you want to do and commit to, and do that. I am not going to try to learn how to market myself on Twitter. But it's just not my thing, you know, it's not my, Twitter's not my thing. However, I'm really funny and I have a great personality, so TikTok can be really great for me, you know, so figure out which ones you want to utilize and you want to be consistent with and do that. Don't be afraid to embrace video, push past the stage fright and get ready for your close-up. That is the biggest downfall of agents, is when you are petrified to post yourself on social media, right? Especially with videos. People want to hear from you. It's a great way for them to hear your tonality and see your personality, to experience what it's like talking to you and working with you, right? Be authentically yourself. Post the video. My cringiest videos that have been shared of me against my will on social media are the ones that I get a lot of engagement and a lot of response on. Hallie actually posted a video of all the TLs. It was me, her, and Simon. She called it her real squad. And she posted on social media, and I was like, oh my God, it was so awkward and so uncomfortable. I want to redo it. And I had so many people from my friends that would reach out to me. I was like, oh my God, I saw your video, love it. You look, you're having fun. I'm like, no, I look uncomfortable, which I was, but there was so much engagement from it. So literally just videos are a great way to engage users passively and actively. Use diagnostics and analytics to optimize your posts. Most social media platforms offer basic tools to gain insight into who is seeing your posts and at what times of day. So on Instagram, you can transfer your profile to I want to say it's a content creator profile. Literally, you just go into like the settings and just like switch it to creator. And once you do that, you're able to see all the analytics. So who's liking it, who's viewing it, how many views, all that stuff. So that's a great way. And then you also get more tools to utilize for your reels. That's cool. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Like reach out to each other, reach out to me. Like I get tired of talking about the same boring stuff with cold calling all the time. Like, let's do some fun stuff and talk about reels. Right? Like I'm totally down to help you guys with whatever, social media related, anything. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, hey, can you videotape me real quick? Or Can we go somewhere in the office, or let's meet offsite and do some reels or post some, create some content, whatever. Yeah. And Simon Holland's really good at angles and videos. So feel free to ask Holland for help. She's amazing at that stuff. She manages all of our social media platforms. So yeah, ask help. Whether it's in the form of a class, if there's a class that you want, if you guys have heard of any instructors that are teaching, anything social media related or lead generation related, whatever, bring it to us. And we're like, hey, this person is an instructor, they're teaching X, Y, Z, love to have this class. Or at team meetings, like, hey, can we get more content on like open houses, 1031 exchange, social media, real, Instagram, whatever you want, bring it to us. We're literally texting and emailing right now about counting about training for all the markets in our city. It's your suggestion, right? Cool. Awesome. Next. All right. Any questions on anything we covered today? So to review some of the concepts covered in today's lesson. So we talked about the 10-5-1. We all know what that is. We all know that that's the bare minimum that we'll be doing that consistently moving forward daily. We know about 80-20, the 80% principle, 80% about you, 20% about real estate. And then we also know about not posting and ghosting, adding value, adding your business, social media strategies, all that fun stuff. The extra 10% are going above and beyond, posting about community service stuff. Right. And the reason to post about community service stuff as well is really to establish you as an expert, right? And it's a really great feeling having past clients on your page. You happen to have somebody that does blank, and to be able to say, yes, I actually do. I have somebody that does remodeling, or I have somebody that works in, you know, the healthcare industry, or an architect friend, or whatever your network is, right? So becoming a local expert. All right. Ahas, we have 15 minutes. So what I am going to ask. Yes, so what I am going to ask that everybody share an aha. So we'll go one at a time, and that is your ticket out the door. It's so bad.
I got a good one. What I saw how I guess from today was pretty expensive to overload. A lot of people forget that your things on private, right? We're just kind of starting up, and I haven't known for how long. Never thought about that until today. So I think it's really good. A lot of people come to study and forget it.
One of the ahas were the groups on Facebook, or was it Meetup? Or is it? Yeah, both group things. You know, definitely getting involved in them. Definitely do it.
I'm being on social media. I was gonna say something, but engage, yeah, engage.
For me, it's what we were talking about, brand recognition. I like how you said that, you know, if you're constantly on social media and constantly popping up, it's basically like a 365-day smart plan. You're always popping up on their screen. That's really
Absolutely. And speaking of smart plan, you can set your social media to automatically post for you. Through command. You can set up your, maybe it's just your weekly real estate posts that you do. All those templates preview and automatically post. You just add all of that shit. So really cool. Yes.
It's kind of like the realization that like I think we're totally early growing up. Like, sure you're online and it's like, you know, crazy or whatever. But it's like your personal life is your business, that's like your own brand real estate. So you can all be like one big thing.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's right on track. Still don't have it too crazy, guys. Don't say, it's okay to get on online and be strong. Like, but again, I think this can definitely be in a professional manner, but still be authentic to who you are. You know, like I don't have to cut on all my posts to be authentic to myself, right? I can still sir.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to express gratitude to everyone. I feel very welcome here. It's my first day. I obviously had a moment of vulnerability up there, just writing my new Instagram on the board. But yeah, I'm definitely going through a life pivot right now. So being here and learning with all you guys is really cool.
Absolutely. And one thing that I typically try to encourage is treat this like a community. Like you guys are all going through the Ignite journey together. So reach out to each other outside of it. It doesn't just have to end with class, right? You guys are all new agents, so a lot of the stuff that you guys are experiencing and the obstacles you're facing and the things you're running into, you're not the only one, right? So use each other as a resource. Like, hey man, like this just happened to me at an open house. Like, have you done open house before? Like, what are your thoughts on it? And collaborate with each other. So use you guys yourselves as resources. I mean, you as well, but feel free to reach out to those. Cool. All right, is everybody open to
Yes.
being reached out to and try to look by each other again?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna say no, we're gonna have a problem. All right, awesome. And we got a couple more.
Well, like, some of you guys. Before, I was a person that was getting to the other people's stories, like everyone's stories. But now I'm gonna post more, not just real estate, like you were saying, everybody. To take difference, I like to go, like the music, I love to dance, I love it's my passion. So I found that, I started going to Zumba class. So it's a lot of people that are in Facebook that are in Zumba classes. So I started inviting, sending them friend requests. So I feel like that's why it's a motivation for me to be more active. So they get to know me.
100%. Fun fact about Carlos, back in the previous life, I was a dance fitness instructor. And it's a great way to meet people and to build your brand and build your business. So get Zumba certified.
Yes.
All right. There, Lauren.
I just think my aha is, I think it was like a hosting event, you know, a cooking class or something. I think that because you're putting yourself out there. So I think charcuterie thing or rolling out or getting somebody, you know, other people, you know, to kind of do something fun and then hosting it. You know, because you don't have to necessarily say it's being hosted by the Surf City Realtor biz, but sort of is, you know, so it's like, I want that to be kind of a soft, not hard question, kind of thing. People are like, oh, that was so awesome. Thank you for doing it. Again, you're top of the line and they're appreciative of it. And you're not trying to just sell them. So like, here's a business card, here's a thing. So it's kind of like you have to put that out there in the universe. It'll come back to you, you know, without that hard sell, because they will appreciate the fact that you went out and you create something fun. So even if it's in your own home, you don't want to go through the expense. I can see that it might be expensive to go to a place. I know there's one place, something came to mind, you know, place that does that. So.
And also too, and I made this when we do up for everybody, use the offers. You guys have access here. Let Holland know, like, hey, I want to use the trainer room Saturday, whatever day. They're hosting a client event or a client party, what have you. There's no problem in doing that. So you have a free event space right here. That you guys can do like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a kitchen, you got a sink.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that we ask is that you clean up after yourself. If you're hosting like an event, you're gonna decorate. Cool, that's fine, do your thing, just make sure come Monday morning, it's free set like this, so we can have class, but yeah, this is no problem, you give us like. Oh, perfect, perfect. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I think for me, I am typically her on social media, and so being more comfortable with getting out there, seeing other people get out there. Actually,
You got a massive amount of followers.
yeah, that's for the next boyfriend.
all of it.
Awesome, you guys, so, thank you all for sharing. Your call to action for today is to post on social media using the 10-5-1 systems. Also visit Connect Live for more helpful social media strategies, like how to turn your Facebook page into a listing. Awesome, and you guys are out of here 10 minutes early. Need that. I know everybody's favorite. Thank you guys so much for participating. You guys did great today.
Thank you, Carlos.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
No.
Now go on, we can generate.
But I'm like,